when the Wachowski siblings, Lana and Lily, changed the film landscape and popular culture with the 1999's NBSP, The Matrix, NBSP, a philosophical sci-fi film that questioned the very nature of existence itself. It was no surprise that Warner Bros., the studio behind the movie, asked them to make a few more. They obliged in 2003, with The Matrix Reloaded and The Matrix Revolutions, though the sequels effectively killed off the idea that we'd ever hang with Neo and Trinity again. But the powers that be will always want more, and so a sequel to the trilogy, The Matrix Resurrections, arrives 18 years later. But this isn't just another rehash. Rather, the film asks us to question the utility of sequels, reboots and the constant churn of intellectual property, especially when the original lesson of The Matrix was to awaken oneself to the system, and then bring the whole thing crashing down. Lana Wachowski enthusiastically takes on this almost impossible task of plugging back into The Matrix to mine the code for new ideas. Lana's sister Lily sits out The Matrix Resurrections, but Wachowski has brought on writer David Mitchell, who wrote the novel Cloud Atlas, which the Wachowskis' NBSP adapted to the screen in 2012, and a writer on their Netflix series, NBSP, Sense8, NBSP, to co-write the script. The result is a swift, self-reflective, often funny and always original reimagining of the material, which sees Wachowski reassessing the existing characters and lore of The Matrix while embroidering the text with new ideas and details. It's less of a reboot than a remix, and this time, it's a bop. Wachowski has infused the world with an exciting new cast of characters, playing roles both familiar and fresh. It feels good to be back with these beloved characters, some of whom have taken on new and, it must be said, hotter forms, looking at Jonathan Groff and NBSP, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, specifically. The story of The Matrix Resurrections is indeed familiar too. A man named Thomas Anderson, Keanu Reeves, leads a repetitive, uninspiring life behind a desk and has the nagging feeling that there's something else out there for him. But this time around, he's a video game designer, the brains behind a revolutionary game called The Matrix, the narrative of which is essentially the first trilogy of films. The game came from his memories of his time as Neo, not that he's necessarily aware of that. As his boss, Smith, Groff, presses Thomas and his team for a remake of the game, a new group of Matrix-hopping hackers, including the awesome Bugs, Jessica Henwick, is ripping through the code, searching for Neo. When they find Thomas and once again offer him the red pill to escape the Matrix, the renewed Neo only has one goal: go back and find his one true love, Trinity, Carrie-Anne Moss.